Besides looking like the generic dude from the last Bang Bros video you watched, Andrew Tate is famous for being the so-called top G, king of Bugattis, misogyny, and up until recently, social media. Who is he? Why did he get banned? Why does he pronounce Bugatti like that? And what does it all mean for men, women, and the state of social media? Let's jump right into it. Like I said, the first time I saw this guy on the infamous Fresh and Fit podcast, I could have sworn he was some kind of European porn star. Like, just with his sunglasses and the fact that he looks like a human-sized version of Rufus from Kim Possible, I was just like, there's no way this dude is a regular human being. In my head, I was like, clearly this guy has some kind of ridiculous job or he's playing a character. But lo and behold, he blew up quicker than a blow-up doll in a college frat house, and now here we are. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the man has got some accomplishments under his belt. Andrew is an ex-British American reality TV star, multi-millionaire, and a 4-time kickboxing champ. And now, thanks to the untapped red pill rage of millions of young men across the world, he literally ended up becoming the most searched person on Google faster than you can tell your wife to get back in the kitchen. I'm just kidding, SJWs, relax. My wife has never left the kitchen. She knows her place. Now, right off the bat, I want to say I'm a little conflicted on this whole Andrew Tate thing. On the one hand, I think if you're the type of guy who is riding Andrew Tate's nutsack and blindly treating everything he says as gospel, you clearly are lacking in the father figure department. I think anyone with any real-life experience and an IQ above 80 should be able to see that Andrew Tate should not be taken seriously every single time he opens up his mouth. But then again, we are on the internet, so I'm not surprised that so many people are hanging on every word this guy says. On the other hand, I actually understand why he got popular, and there's some things that he says when it comes to male and female dynamics, working hard, and life in general that can actually be seen as objectively good takes, decent advice, and are things that young men kinda need to hear, or at least want to have conversations about. You see, while this new woke era is meant to do a lot of good for women, men still have their issues too. When you look at statistics and see how much men struggle when it comes to dating, self-deletion, and just overall loneliness, it's clear that men's issues should also be a big topic of discussion. Now don't worry, I'm not trying to pull an all lives matter on you guys, but when society doesn't do a great job addressing men's issues, the average man starts to feel a little unheard, and when the average man feels unheard, someone like Andrew Tate becomes more inevitable. Now, before one of you blue-haired social justice keyboard warriors try to tell me I need to check my privilege in the comments, I completely understand that men on average are the more privileged gender in society. But it's kinda hard to feel like an oppressor when there's millions of down bad men crying themselves to sleep after they finish eating a family-sized pack of Doritos with one hand and jerking off to a 6-figure OnlyFans model with the other. Who knows, some of these dudes are probably using the same hand for both. What I'm trying to say is while top-earning white men might rule the world, chances are the guy with the neck beard and Rick and Morty bumper sticker working in the cubicle next to you is probably almost, if not equally, as oppressed and depressed as you are. The average dude in America is at least balls deep in college debt like you are, struggling to make ends meet, and is probably having a hard time meeting women, let alone cultivating a meaningful relationship with anyone that's not his left hand. And I say this not just because I clearly think masturbation jokes are hilarious, but also because studies show that men's loneliness is at an all-time high, and 1 in 3 men between the ages of 18 and 24 are living sexless lives. Thankfully, I'm 28. Again, this is not to take away from the struggles of the modern day woman. However, my point is that being a man in today's society has its perks, but is also not exactly the stroll in the patriarchal park that some of you new age feminists act like it is. This is why someone like Mr. Bugatti over here has been able to become so popular. You see, instead of sweeping some of the hardships of modern day masculinity under the rug like the rest of society, Andrew Tate pulled young men in all across the world by addressing some truths about the male struggle and trying to provide some solutions. Yeah, he sounded like a proper dickhead half the time, but whether you like it or not, the other half of the time he was speaking on issues that most men can relate to and giving them some solid answers. Issues that, again, I feel our current culture neglects to talk about. It's funny to me because as much as Tate said some ridiculous shit, if you actually watch his interviews, he's actually very well spoken, capable of giving some objectively good advice, insight, and can sometimes be genuinely funny. I know some you SJW types are cringing hearing me say that, but listen to a few of these clips and tell me there's no value.
Names a single attribute for masculinity which is going to come from a place other than trauma or pain. I talk about this all the time. People say I've had a traumatic life. I say, well, then you're very, very fortunate. You had a traumatic life. Now, you may have misused that trauma. You may have misplaced it. You may have accepted the matrix telling you that you now have an excuse to fail, as opposed to using it to grow. But every single man of value went through trauma, and they went through pain. It's going to be painful to get strong, painful to get rich, painful to become important. It's going to be painful to become good with women. Your heart's going to get broken a bunch of times. You have to be prepared for the pain. If you're not ready for pain, you're never going to be anything that matters. My kickboxing coach used to say to me, I used to come in the gym, say, what do you hate the most? And I say, I hate running. I say, okay, you're going running. I say, why? He goes, because whatever you hate is what you need. Whatever you hate is what you need. I wanted to spar, bag work, pads, no problem. Running, I didn't want to run, but that's what you need. And that's what life's about. You're not going to be able to go through life avoiding pain and also becoming a man of quality.
I can wake up sad. I can ache. I can have a busy day, stressed, etc. I will complete the same tasks as if I woke up in a fantastic mood. I'll do the same things because how I feel has no bearing on the things I'm going to do with my day because I have duty to myself and to my bloodline. And what I'm going to say to you is, because you think there's something wrong with you, you go, well, I lack motivation. You hear this one? I don't have the motivation to go to the gym. Well, here's the news flash. Neither did I. And I still did it. So now what are you going to say? Now you have no excuse, right?
It's actually ironic because before I started making this video, my opinion on Tate was that he was just a straight up troll / red pill warrior, but after being forced to watch countless clips of this man, I gotta say, he provided a lot more value than I expected, and I was forced to tone down my criticism of him in this video. I still think he's far from the ideal role model for men, but honestly, what did everyone expect when men's issues are constantly being put on the back burner? Whether you like Andrew Tate or not, we have to acknowledge the issues in society that made him so popular. Men and women need to have more open and honest dialogue with each other about their struggles so we can properly address these issues. If we don't, if either gender is left unheard, then we'll have more toxic individuals coming out of the woodwork that have these radicalized tendencies and therefore more radicalized followers. As for why this man got banned, to be honest, I don't think I ever saw him do anything illegal or incite violence in any way. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments as usual, but from what I researched, all the legal allegations made against him are either debunked or are still under investigation. So I don't think this ban should have come from anything that hasn't been proven. For example, one claim was that he beats women. However, the woman in question has since come out and told the public that they were engaging in some sort of consensual BDSM play.
I just wanted to say something about the video that's been released recently about me and my ex-boyfriend Andrew Tate. Andrew is my still great friend. What you guys saw on the video, it's just what we used to do. It was just pure game. He's a great guy. He would never hurt anyone. Unless he's fighting.
The other had to do with human trafficking. I know, crazy. However, from what I see, at least at the time of this video, I don't think any charges have been brought against him and that he may have just been falsely accused. But like I said, I'm all for women's rights, but let's try to address some of men's issues and try not to demonize men for speaking their mind. And maybe we'll get to a point where we can start having healthier discussions about male to female relationships. But I digress. Let me know what you guys think about all this Andrew Tate stuff. Do you love him? Do you hate him? And what color is your Bugatti? Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, peace.